Hello and welcome to this webinar. So the webinar today is actually about introducing the new Invoq oven range. A combi oven range that is versatile, can be used in any type of kitchens or bakeries. And today we're going to focus on the HoReCa segment. So we actually like to show you some features that we have specially developed the oven to help you in a restaurant carrying out your daily work easier. So today we're going to take you through a RackTimer setting, which is going to help you in a la carte situation. We would like to show you what creating recipes can do for your preparation. And in addition to that, actually automatically collect your food safety data. In the end of the webinar, we're going to show you a little bit about our CareCycle cleaning system. You're more than welcome to, throughout the webinar, to put in questions in the chat, and then we will take them as they come or in the end of the session. If you have suggestions for us for a future webinar, please also share that in the chat. So once again, welcome to the home of Invoq for a half hour with a lot of exciting news to share with you. And maybe Jens, you would like to introduce the first part of the show event.
Yeah, so since this is a webinar about the HoReCa segment, we would like to show you one of the features that we are most happy about. It's the RackTimer function, of course. And as a former chef, of course, in the busy kitchen, I'm used to all these timers on the shelves, busy doing service and the prep during the day. So the RackTimer function not only fixes the issue with a lot of timers around the kitchen, where you get a timer for each rack in the oven. What we've also developed is a function that will help you cooking, so it understands time lost when the door is open to take our product. We have cook time correction functioning as well, and you can use both a probe and a timer for each rack. So let's get into the RackTimer. We're going to take a look at the RackTimer function. I've prepared 4 trays of food here on our lovely Pineapple trays, and we have some red bell peppers, some potato wedges, spring onions, and some chicken thighs. I'm going to load the oven, and we're going to zoom in, and you can see how I start and use the RackTimer function. So starting the RackTimer function, we go into manual mode, and in our manual mode, in the time box here, I have the menu bar and I can choose that, RackTimer. So here we are. First of all, to set our RackTimer in the corner here, I can choose, first of all, my cooking mode. So I'm in Combi as of right now. And let's say that we want to cook at, well, actually 215 for this is fine for me. And 20% humidity. I can also set my fan speed if I need to. So in the RackTimer function itself, we still have access to the quick select bar, home, CareCycle, clean the screen, and language change if we need it to be. So looking at our 6 racks, as we remember, I put in my chicken at the top rack. So I've set my timer for 14 minutes. And the spring onions will need a little bit shorter than that. So let's say they need 6 minutes. Let's go. And the potatoes, 15 minutes, that will be fine. And the bell peppers, 6 minutes, that will also be fine. So as you see here now, the progress bar is starting to work. So from a distance, the visuals of the RackTimer is very easy to work with. Even though you can't see the numbers, you'll see how far the cooking is. The 6th rack here, I've just set for 4 seconds. This is just to show you what happens when a rack is done. So the progress bar will come to the end and the oven will start sounding off the alarm. The oven still cooks because we need to cook the rest of the product that's still in, and we get a red and yellow flash that allows us to see that something is done. The timer still counts because if the oven is not opened at the exact time that it's done, we need to know how far the cooking has gone. So taking out the product, I just simply open the door, take out the product, close the door, and the RackTimer is reset. So it's just plug and play for us. Canceling a rack is easy on the red cross here. And you can also use your core probe if you want to cook. I could have used it maybe for cooking the chicken. So it will work great with using probe and time in the RackTimer function. So here we have our result from the RackTimer cooking. Our nicely cooked chicken, potato wedges, and bell peppers and spring onions are ready to eat.
So as you could see, the RackTimer helps you guide on the racks, clear the rack again once the program is done. And with the colors, it actually helps you to protect the food. So if it turns red, you know as a chef that you can actually take the validation. Is it still good to serve, or is it something that I have to take to the side and make a new one for my guests to be happy? And that's a nice feature in the kitchen, to be able to have that validation.
Yes.
One of the questions that came up through here was, can I cook veggies and meat at the same time without having cross flavor coming around? And yes, you can actually do that in a combi oven. So the vegetables will not taste from the meat and vice versa, and you can cook them at the same time so that you have them ready for your guests to be able to serve them at the same time. Another question that came up was actually what you mentioned in the beginning a little bit about, Jens. Does the oven help you with ensuring proper cooking results? Maybe you can explain what happens behind the scenes when this goes on.
Yeah. So to ensure a proper cooking result in the RackTimer function, we have an intelligent solution that counts the time and temperature lost while we open the doors. Also, of course, loss of humidity if you're using the Combi function. So when opening the door and emptying racks during the cooking, the oven will pick up speed to pick up the lost temperature or humidity during the cooking.
So compared to the timers you were standing with in the beginning, it actually automatically compensates for this, so that the time that you decide your meat to cook at was there. Another question came here. Why would you cook chicken in a combi mode? That's a chef question.
Yeah. So cooking chicken in the combi ovens is a great improvement from what we used to do in the convection mode. So a slight adding of humidity during your cooking, even at high temperatures up to 300 degrees Celsius, will help you to first of all faster cook and for tenderization of the chicken. So you can have crispy skin and a juicy and tender chicken at the same time in the less amount of time of cooking than you used to have.
And that's one of the secrets behind a good combi oven. The next topic we have on here is we'd like to talk a little bit about recipes. How can you make multi-stage recipes, and what can it do for your products? I think a lot of chefs, they do it by hand, but there are benefits, Jens, when we are talking about a recipe in our functionality, right?
Yes. So the use of recipes in your day-to-day working will help you free up time in your prep work, especially. It will also ensure you the exact same cooking result week in and week out. It will help you with your teamwork in the kitchen as well. It's a lot easier to hand over tasks between the chefs in the kitchen. and even for untrained staff to come in and help you out. So in bigger production, this is a quality ensurement for you, but it's also saving time. And in the smaller kitchens, you're more flexible to use untrained staff during your prep work.
One particular thing that I like about our recipes is our note step, where you can actually add in a note. You decide, so am I adding the cheese on the lasagna, or do I have to pour in 1 liter of chicken stock to make the risotto perfect? You can type that in, and you can even put an icon to it to make it even better. But Jens, what we're going to show now is actually a pre-recorded video of one of our favorites, where we've taken a challenge and made it simple. Can you explain what we're going to see?
We're going to see a recipe for pre-cooking a pineapple tarte tatin. So I'm going to show you a little bit about an accessory we have that we love, but also how this recipe will help you save time and give you an even cook every time.
Today I would like to show you a really nice recipe with our pineapple tarte tatins. So for this recipe we use the special accessory we have for the oven. It is the Pineapple tray, a coated ceramic tray with an aluminum core, which gives it a lovely quality for baking. This tray was originally developed to making omelets, but as time has passed we found it extremely useful for a lot of other purposes. For instance, this pineapple dessert. So for today's recipe, I'm using 3 sizes of the ring cutter. The first medium size here I've used to cut my pineapple so it fits the bottom size of the pineapple tray. The small ring cutter has been used to cut out the stem of the pineapple. Actually, during cooking, this would tenderize, so it would be edible. It's not a problem. But for today's recipe, I've chosen to use a little bit of sweetener in this tarte tatin. So I'm using a almond marzipan. Again, for this recipe, you could easily use a praline of any sort of nuts. Hazelnuts would be lovely for this. Of course, being a tarte tatin, we also have our pastry. The puff pastry I've cut with a ring that fits the size of the top of the indent for the pies. This will give me a nice rim around the pineapple. So when we cook at low fan speed in the beginning, the pastry will grab around the pineapple and form the proper pie shape. I start with a little knob of butter, nice organic butter. I take a nice spoonful of caster sugar, and then the marzipan I roll up just quickly into a ball. It will fit, and I make it fit with my fingers into the middle of the pineapple. And then simply just place your piece of pastry on top. Afterwards, we take our brush. I have a little mix of just milk and egg yolk, very simple. And I gently brush my top of the pastry and finish off with a little bit of extra sugar to sweeten the pastry. This will also give it a nice glazed top. The non-stick function of the tray allows us to cook stuff like eggs and vegetables. So some of our favorites, besides the tarte tatin, is fried eggs or maybe a potato rusty. So a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan, and then you can put your grated potatoes straight into the pan and do the most lovely, crispy and juicy potato rusties. For the fried eggs, we have the opportunity to cook them in different settings. We can either steam them, cook them in combi mode, or just roast them to get some colorization on the bottom. In the combi mode, we have the opportunity to set the top of the egg a little bit, start cooking the yolk if that's what the guest wants, or we can completely cook them through to build sandwiches or maybe burgers. Okay, so we finished our tray of 8 pieces of pineapple tarte tatin, and I've put my recipe to work. and it's a standard recipe. The recipe you can find on our webpage, actually under Pineapple Tatin. And the oven is ready, it's preheated. So we open up. And let the oven do the work. In the recipe package, we have the function to keep up to 1,500 recipes. We have different quick select options, so we can go into recently used, favorite, or groups. So in the recently used, we'll find all the recipes that we use on a day-to-day basis. The favorites are our most beloved recipes, but also the ones that we need to use again often. The groupings gives us the possibility to sort out the recipes and quick select which one we need when we need to go through the whole package to find the one we're looking for. So my lovely pineapple tarte tatins are done. Let's take out the tray. As we see, the pineapple is very nicely caramelized, and the marzipan has also got that nice Maillard reaction color that will brown the sugar and give it a lovely deep taste.
Nice and delicious pineapple tarte tatins with a 3-step recipe.
Yes.
Ensured preheating to get the conversation going. But I've always been told that a tarte tatin is a very difficult dish to do, but it looks so simple. What's the secret?
The secret here for us is that we actually take away the step. Usually you would cook it in a pan on the stove and put the pan in the oven. That's how we all brought up to do tarte tatins. The multi-tray is functioning as a roasting pan, and we control that Maillard reaction and the caramelization of the sugar and the pastry and the pineapple. So we get all the functions in one step in the recipe. And it's a very, very safe way of doing a lot of tarte tatins in one step.
Yeah, they look delicious. And I think that one of the things you could see here is that putting steps together actually gave you that little humidity in the beginning to get the puff pastry to raise, and then the bake and the caramelization, and back to forth and left to right, the same color.
Yeah, exactly.
And mentioned before, one of the good things about making these recipes in the oven is actually that you get the food safety, right?
Yes. So when we're using the recipes, the oven stores the HACCP files or the HACCP files that will help you control your safety in the kitchen.
So another little video to show you that. Stay tuned. For your food safety, we have the HACCP functionality. It's a method where we, in a PDF format, document the processes that you've made. So if you are having a recipe using Smart Chef, it actually automatically saves your food safety data. So it documents minute by minute which temperature the oven has been, if you're using the core probe, which temperature your product has been, and then you can look that up against your defined parameters. It's a smooth and easy way for you to always have your food safety by the hand. It's easily downloaded with a USB key directly from the oven or via the cloud system. On the oven, we can store 60 days of HACCP files. So you have 2 months to take out the data that you need to document your food safety. HACCP made simple and easy, and a very good question have arisen. For how long is the HACCP files stored at the oven? And we've actually made it 60 days. So you have 60 days where you can take out the PDF files from the oven to ensure that in a busy kitchen, you don't have to remember it during, but you can actually capture a month within the next month. So all of March files, you have the whole of April to download and save in your folder. and it's also as a PDF from the oven, so no additional software on your laptop is required to view the files. In the end of a busy day, there's nothing like cleaning up, tidying up the kitchen, but with the Invoq ovens, it's simply a push by a button and it's cleaning itself. So a small video explaining the CareCycle.
CareCycle. That's the new name of our washing system. It's a recirculating washing system that you can use by just touching this button. CareCycle consists of 6 main cleaning programs. 3 normal programs, 2 eco programs, and 1 turbo wash. It also has a descaling functionality of the cavity, so that you can rinse down if there's some lime scale inside the cavity. The turbo wash is a 15-minute program where you in a busy restaurant, supermarket, or just for a quick wash down can use the turbo cleaning. You simply select and you follow the guide on the oven. Only 15 minutes and 1 tablet, and you have a sparkling oven that are ready to cook your next items. If you have time and you can do the cleaning overnight, why not go eco and choose either eco or eco plus mode? This saves you power, water and chemicals, and the oven is clean for you the next morning. In the cleaning cycles, we allow 90% of the water to be unfiltered. And if a little bit of scale slips through, we have a descaling function for the cavity, so you can get a nice and sparkling, shiny oven to produce your food in.
So easy to clean, simply use a tablet in the base of the oven, and then you have, you can go home and the oven is clean. Does the oven need special cleaning tablets to do the wash? Yes, we have specially designed a phosphate-free green tablet to use for the oven. One of the things that we really put in being a must-have for the tablet is that it can go into a warm oven, so that we do not jeopardize the look and feel of the oven and the user error going in. It's also guided on the screen where to do it and when to do it. How often you need to clean the oven? We recommend a daily wash to keep it down. Then you can choose a more environmental friendly cleaning because it's not a very greasy oven. And as explained in the video, there are everything from a 15 minutes turbo wash to a overnight eco cleaning cycle. So there is no reason that you do not have time to do it. A clean oven will also last longer. Anything in the end of the show? Seeing if there's any more questions coming in at a final stage. Then I'd just like to highlight that we have upcoming webinars tomorrow and Thursday, and there's another 3 planned for May. So sign up and please follow. If you have any suggestions for us that you would like to have covered in one of these webinars, do not hesitate. We would like to share our knowledge and we would like to feedback to you any questions that you might have. So stay tuned, invoqoven.com, and follow us on SoMe, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We look forward to host you again in the next webinar.
Bye, guys.
Bye.